we got Sophie the Trophy, one half of the Blonde Bombers, coming out and exposing her truth with this Bria Hartley situation. And she's also letting it be known the behind the scenes and what's really going on with Caitlin Clark's injury.
Breaking news in the WNBA. Stephanie White has shocked the basketball world with an announcement that could reshape the league forever. Caitlin Clark, the face of women's basketball, and Sophie Cunningham, the outspoken sharpshooter, are both being linked to a potential exit from the WNBA. Fans are stunned, and the ripple effects are massive. Are two of the most talked about players really preparing to walk away? Or is this a warning shot aimed directly at the league's leadership? Stay with us as we uncover the inside story, the hidden tensions, and why this moment could define the future of women's basketball.
I don't know. Everyone keeps asking, everyone's like, and I'm like, literally, she doesn't even know. Like, it's just like a day by day legit type of thing. And so, yeah, she's close, but like, you also have to remember, like, she could be playing if it wasn't in the WNBA by now, but like at this level, with how deep and like how good people are nowadays in our league, which is the best it's ever been, like you can't just be good, you have to be on top of your game. And so just trying to get her back in game shape, I think, is what they're trying to do. But like, again, it's literally a day by day. I'm not holding out any information. I just literally don't.
It all started when Sophie Cunningham sat down for an interview that quickly turned into an explosive moment. Instead of brushing off questions about her injuries and fines, Sophie doubled down, saying that Caitlin Clark's WNBA future might be shorter than anyone expected. Those words set the internet on fire. Fans immediately started speculating. Is Clark already thinking of leaving? Cunningham, known for her fearless honesty, didn't back down. She exposed not just her own frustrations with officiating and league politics, but hinted that Clark herself may be questioning whether staying in the WNBA is worth it.
Yeah, and she also would be able to play if this was not sumo wrestling, if this was not UFC, if you guys did not play rugby in these basketball games, she'd probably be able to get out there and do her thing. But she has to put on all this armor, which caused her to get hurt anyway. She had to put on all this armor because y'all don't play basketball. It is rugby out there.
Caitlin Clark's injuries have been the biggest talking point of the season. First called day-to-day, then extended to week-to-week, fans are growing frustrated with the lack of transparency. Sophie Cunningham added fuel to the fire by saying Clark could probably be playing already, if this weren't the WNBA. That comment hit hard. Why would she say that unless there's a deeper truth? Clark has been battered game after game, treated like a target rather than the league's superstar. And now, the silence from the Fever and league officials only makes fans wonder, is Caitlin Clark being pushed toward an exit?
Look, listen, Sophie, I love you trying to hold it down. We love that you was trying to hold it down. We wish you a speedy recovery. But as far as what's going on in the WNBA, we are on them. We going to stay on them. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. We're on today nonsense.
Enter Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White. In a recent media session, White carefully but firmly admitted that Caitlin Clark's status remains uncertain and that nobody really knows when she'll return. Coming from the head coach, that's a powerful statement. For fans, it wasn't just about Clark's health. It sounded like a signal. Could this have been Stephanie White's way of preparing the public for the unthinkable? Caitlin Clark stepping away from the WNBA altogether? When combined with Sophie Cunningham's words, it feels less like speculation and more like a coordinated wake-up call. Let's be honest, Sophie Cunningham has become the league's whistleblower. She's paid fines, faced criticism, and been labeled a troublemaker, but she's the only one brave enough to say what fans already believe. The WNBA isn't protecting its stars. Sophie compared the league's games to rugby, pointing out that players like Clark are being pushed to the edge physically. Her comments weren't just about basketball, they were about survival. Sophie revealed that Clark is essentially going day by day, a phrase that feels more like damage control than reality. Fans see through it, and now the league has a credibility crisis. The fan reaction has been explosive. Social media is flooded with hashtags like Protect Caitlin and Save Sophie. Many are openly saying they'd support Clark if she walked away today. That's how bad the situation has become. Imagine that, the league's biggest star leaving, and instead of outrage, fans would cheer her for protecting herself. Sophie's words didn't just spark panic, they exposed loyalty. The fans aren't loyal to the WNBA, they're loyal to Caitlin Clark. And that's a terrifying reality for league officials, who know their ticket sales and ratings live or die with her. If Caitlin Clark really did walk away, where would she go? The first option on the table is Europe. Countless WNBA players have played overseas for more money, shorter seasons, and better treatment. Imagine Clark suiting up for a powerhouse club in Spain or Turkey, with American fans staying up at 3 a.m. to stream her games. She'd be the highest paid women's basketball player on the planet almost overnight. And here's the kicker. Fans would follow her, leaving the WNBA scrambling to explain why their brightest star chose another stage. But there's an even wilder possibility: golf. Caitlin Clark has openly spoken about her love for the sport. With her marketability, she wouldn't need to become the next Tiger Woods to succeed. All she'd need to do is show up, compete, and the sponsorships would flood in. Just look at Paige Spiranak. She turned golf and social media into a multi-million-dollar empire. Now imagine Caitlin Clark, with Nike, Gatorade, and ESPN already in her corner, doing the same. For the WNBA, that would be worse than her going overseas. It wouldn't just lose her talent, it would lose her entirely. Beyond the injuries, there's the mental toll. Caitlin Clark is under more pressure than any young athlete in U.S. sports today. Every game is televised nationally. Every foul, every missed shot, every comment is dissected online. The WNBA wanted her to be the face of the league, but without protection, that role has turned into a burden. Sophie Cunningham compared it to sumo wrestling out there, and she wasn't wrong. Just like Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka, Clark could step back not because she can't play, but because the constant pressure becomes too much. And then there's the double standard. Sophie Cunningham has been fined for even mentioning players like Paige Buchers, while others openly criticize Clark without consequences. Fans see how Paige gets superstar whistles while Clark gets hacked, shoved, and ignored. That isn't just inconsistent, it's targeted. Sophie's comments pulled the mask off. The league protects some, punishes others, and Clark is paying the price. Fans are left asking, if this is how the WNBA treats its biggest star, what hope does anyone else have? Make no mistake, losing Caitlin Clark would be the WNBA's nightmare scenario. When she plays, arenas sell out. When she's sidelined, attendance drops instantly. Sponsorships, ratings, merchandise, all of it skyrocketed because of Clark. Without her, the fever fade back into irrelevance, and the league risks slipping into obscurity again. Sophie Cunningham's words weren't just a warning. They were a reality check. This league isn't ready to survive without Caitlin Clark. And right now, that's exactly what it's facing. Let's not forget, Sophie Cunningham herself may be on her way out. Constant fines, relentless criticism, and the physical toll have taken their toll. For her to publicly side with Clark and hint at her own frustrations speaks volumes. She's not just defending Clark, she's pointing out that the entire system is broken. If both Clark and Cunningham leave, the league doesn't just lose two players. It loses credibility, leadership, and the last bit of honesty it had left. Here's the wildest part. Fans wouldn't even blame Caitlin Clark if she left. They'd blame the WNBA. On social media, people are already saying the league has fumbled the bag. Instead of protecting its stars, it's pushing them away. And if Clark or Cunningham walk, the league won't just lose games, it'll lose trust. Fans would see it as confirmation that the WNBA isn't capable of handling its own success. That perception might be harder to repair than any injury. So what happens if Clark and Cunningham both walk away? Absolute chaos. Sponsorships vanish, TV ratings collapse, and the Caitlin Clark effect disappears overnight. The WNBA would be forced back into survival mode, begging for coverage instead of commanding it. And once stars realize they have more options outside the league than inside it, the exodus could spread. Sophie Cunningham's words may have been about Caitlin, but the ripple effect could shake the entire foundation of the WNBA. Stephanie White's announcement, Sophie Cunningham's bombshell, and Caitlin Clark's silence have combined into a storm the WNBA can't ignore. This isn't just about two players. It's about the survival of a league. If Clark leaves, everything changes. If Sophie leaves, the last whistleblower is gone. The question is simple. Will the WNBA fix its problems before it loses its stars? Or are we witnessing the beginning of an exodus? Fans, we want to hear from you. Do you think Caitlin Clark will stay, head to Europe, or walk away from basketball entirely? Let us know in the comments.